pre-production stage, how you would write it in your screenplay, how you would storyboard it. Then I'm going to show you how you would shoot it, and then I'm going to show you how to edit. And there's 5 of them. So hopefully we can get this done in the amount of time required, and then we will be working on them probably in class on Thursday. And then they'll also be kind of our homework over the weekend in case we don't get them done. So let's take a look here. Like I said, there's 5 different types of cuts, and I'm wondering if I can do this. This might look good, although it's going to be gone. So no, we're just going to call it out, and like I said, take some notes on paper, take some notes on the computer, whatever works for you. And I'll share all my materials with you guys as soon as I can. All right, so the first type of cut that we're going to do is the whip cut. And we saw that in Scott Pilgrim, where the camera spun so fast, leaving the first shot and entering the second shot, that the blur, you can hide the cut in the blur. So if I wanted to use a whip cut, it would look like this section right here. So I'm going to start next. Interior kitchen day. My son Calvin is in the kitchen board, and he says, I wish I was at the park. Now, if you want to use a whip cut, you'll probably use a transition in your screenplay to tell the storyboard artist, hey, this is going to be a whip cut to the next location. So we're going to whip cut to outside at the park day, and Calvin's excited and says woohoo, and then the scene ends. So this right here, basically the key is the transition, writing whip cut to at the end of the first shot, or the first scene. And then obviously we know that beginning the next location out at the park, we're going to whip cut in. And so when I see that, man, excuse me, I could not breathe. When I see that, I am going to storyboard something like this. So here is shot, and I would probably call this 1A, because the 2 shots are kind of married together. They can't, they have to kind of live together. So I end up calling these kind of special cuts shot 1A and 1B instead of shot 1 and 2, because they're kind of connected. The goal here is to fool the audience into thinking that it is 1 shot, right? Even though it is 2 shots, and we know that. The goal is to make the audience believe that it's 1 shot. So here's shot 1A. Here's Calvin in a medium shot. And you see that as I'm going to whip out to the left. And I also draw an arrow here on the left side of the screen, telling my camera operator that when this shot ends, we need to very quick and hard pan very fast to the left. And more than just a pan, we need to whip out to the left. So if I was shooting with my phone, you know, a pan would be something like this, but I'm literally going to like just kind of take this thing and as fast as I can to get a lot of blur in it. If I had a big camera, which I don't have mine set up right now, but if I was on a tripod, I would probably just spin the tripod with my wrists, something like that, to get it to spin as quick as I could, because I need to create that whip. And then the second shot would be shot 1B, right? It's the sister shot of it. And you see that here I whip out to the left. So this shot, I need to whip in from the left to the wide shot, whip in at the beginning. The in point is the whip, as opposed to the out point being the whip, right? Whip out of shot 1, whip in to shot 2, and then Calvin goes and plays. Excuse me. So let's pull this up. Man, oh man, oh man. Let's see. It's been a while since we got my phone connected to my computer. Fingers crossed. Here we go. Looking good so far. Near this thing. Actually, you know what? I actually don't even need to do that because I have them on my computer already. Let's see here. Special cuts. There they are. And shot 1A. Here it is. And go big for you guys. So here is shot 1A in production.
This is shot 1A. Take 1. Action.
I want to go to the park.
Okay, and I forgot to say cut there. That's a bad job by me. But you can see that once he's done with his action, I whip the camera, and I probably could have whipped it harder. I'm not really very pleased with myself, but you can see if I go frame by frame, it's awfully blurry. And that is what we're looking for here, is at the end, when you're ending this shot, you need to create as much blur as you can. And that way, when I go to shot 1B.
Rolling. This is shot 1B. Take one.
You see, I set myself up over here on the right, and that way I can whip left again and end up on Calvin.
And action.
There we go. So I've got my 2 shots now, just like I storyboarded them. I whipped out of shot 1 and I whipped in to shot 2. So now let's go to post-production here. So we're going to do basically start a new project. We're going to make a new folder in my video file called Special Cuts. And we're going to name the project Special Cuts. There we go. And we are going to get all of that footage from my Google Drive, copy that, throw it into that folder, video file, Special Cuts, drop it in there, drop them on here. Here we go. Boop, 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 boop. All right, now we find shot 1A. Now, I think I need to change my sound so that the sound comes through to you guys as well. Let's try this, see if that works. There we
Action.
go.
Action.
I want to go to the park.
The key here is you got to set your out. Got to be very specific with that out. Got to set that out at like the blurriest point. I'm going to choose that as my out. Drop that on my timeline. Then I'm going to go find shot 1B, which I think is, oh, here's take 2. So I did a take 2. Let's see here.
Action.
And then same thing, I got to find, and again, when you're outside, it's hard to create that blur. It's so bright. If I had a better camera, I could have done it. But you know, we're making do with what we got. And I'm going to put my in right there.
Yeah, the slide.
There we go. And when I put the 2 together, as long as I put them together at kind of the blurriest, fastest moment, it should seamlessly come together.
I want to go to the park. Yeah, the slide.
There we go. I've got myself a nice whip cut where I'm.
I want to go to the park. Yeah,
right, it looks like one kind of fluid motion from one shot to the next. You don't need any transitions. You don't need anything like that. You know, as long as there's a, and again, I probably could have whipped this even faster and made it look even better. You know, it's been a while since I've done it, but it should look like one, you know, to the naked eye, it looks like one shot. And we were there. There we go. So that's how you do a whip cut. That's a very simple one. And that's how you do it all the way from screenplay, storyboard, production, and post-production. All right, so 1 down, 4 to go. All right, let's go to the second type of cut that we're going to do today, and that is a wipe cut. So a wipe cut you saw in Scott Pilgrim where a body would walk in front of the camera, and there's 2 different types of wipe cuts you can do. You can do a wipe cut where something appears or disappears, or you can do a wipe cut where you change location. So the first one that we're going to do is where something appears or disappears. And so we're outside the park. Violet is sad. Violet forgot her water. We're going to wipe cut to, you see, I don't have a new scene heading because I'm not going to change locations. I'm going to stay at the same place, but her water bottle magically appears on the table, and then we cut to black. Okay, so I'm using a wipe cut here. Let's see here. And on my storyboard, it's the same thing. I'm going to label this shot 2A because the goal here is to make it look like it's one shot, to make it kind of invisible to the average observer what has happened. And so on shot 1, medium shot of outside, I'm going to wipe to the right out. So the first shot, you do the effect on the out point. So I draw kind of a big blob here, which is kind of my stand-in for my grip or my director or whoever it is that's going to walk through the frame, blocking the frame, and that way they can hide Violet. And at that moment, we'll set our out point when they walk through, right? And so here she is. And then you see that shot 2B, it's the same shot. She's still sitting there at the picnic table, but now her water bottle is magically on the picnic table. And so same thing, I'm going to wipe right in. The first shot is a wipe right out. The second shot is a wipe right in. And now Violet is happy. So let's take a look at those. Shot 2A, take 1. Here it is.
Rolling. This is shot 2A, take 1. And action.
I left my water bottle at home.
You can see my slate guy walked into the shot. Not super great job by him. And I am going to walk through this shot. And you'll see as I walk through, I don't stop in front of the camera. I just walk straight on through. Whoop. Through I go. I walk really, really close to the camera though. I'm basically almost touching the camera with my arm. I'm getting as close as I possibly can. Let's see if we can go frame by frame. Oh, come on, VLC, help me out. There we go, right? You see that at that moment, I'm super duper close to the camera. And then shot 2B.
Rolling. This is shot 2B, take 1.
So now we've added the water bottle there. Violet's going to kind of get in the same position, and I'm going to walk through right after the action call, and then she's going to react.
Action.
My water bottle.
All right,
Cut.
There we go, and cut. So basically, one time you walk through at the end of the shot, the second time you walk through at the beginning of the shot, and we should, come on, there we go. All right, here's our Premiere timeline. So let's go and find those shots 2A.
And action.
I left my water bottle at home.
So again, I got to find that perfect frame where my body is perfectly blocking the entire screen. That's where my out has to go. It's all about being very, very specific with the out and the in. So that one's a perfect out. Now we find 2B. We find the perfect in.
Action.
Right about, let's see. Now this one, did I do a 2B take 2? What's this? No, that's 2B take 1. Oh, here we go.
This is shot 2. And action.
Okay. Here we go. And set my in just perfectly.
My water bottle.
And then set my out and slap them together. And when we roll it.
I left my water bottle at home. My water bottle.
There we go. That's a pretty, it needs a little bit of work. You can see there's a little bit of a hitch in there somewhere. It's this one. It's my in of my second shot is wrong. There we go. There we go. That's nice and smooth.
At home.
There we go.
At home.
So you can see that Calvin also disappears as we walk through, which is fine. Because that's what this shot does. This effect, when you do it in the same location and your camera's on a tripod, you can make things appear and disappear. I mean, I could have moved my bike for the second shot. I could have had 50 people show up in the second shot, right? You can make things appear or disappear if you shoot on a tripod and you stay in the same location, just with that wipe cut where things appear or disappear. So that one is pretty sweet. Let's see here. Close cousin to that one is the wipe cut where we change locations. So here, we're going to be out at the park day. Calvin's going to wonder, I wonder what my dad is doing at home. And we're going to wipe cut to the bedroom where I'm sleeping. So here, we're actually going to wipe cut and then put a new scene heading. Whereas with the water bottle, we just wipe cut to an action because we're not changing the scene, right? The scene stayed the same with Violet. But in this one, we're going to wipe cut, put a new scene heading, and go somewhere new. Let's see here. So if we look at my storyboard for this one, very similar. Shot 3A, again, big giant blob representing the body that's going to walk through and hide our cut, and they're going to wipe out. We always have the effect on the out of the first shot, Calvin on the swing, and then wipe left out. And then shot 3B is a medium shot of me sleeping, and we're going to wipe left in. You got to make sure you walk the same direction both times, or it's not gonna work. It's really, really important. That's why you put on your storyboard so you can remember when you go out to shoot which direction you went, and that way everything works correctly. Let's see here. Where are you shot? Here it is. Shot 3A. VLC.
Rolling. This is shot 3A, take 1. And action.
I wonder what my dad's doing.
And I walk through. Now, the one thing that I wanted to show you, and I think it's actually here.
Rolling. This is shot 2A, action.
I left my water bottle at home.
Nope, not that one. Gosh darn it, guys. Sorry. This is what I get. I didn't update my take, and you can see it's really scrumming me right now. Nope, that's not either. I thought I had one where you can see what happens if you do a wipe cut, but you don't have your exposure locked, and it gets so bright that here it is right here. So here's one where before I shot, I take my camera and I press and hold so that I lock my focus and lock my exposure. And on this one, I didn't do it. And you can see that when I walk through, the camera sees all that black and really brightens everything up for a half second. And it looks really bad when you watch it in real time. So that's kind of one thing that you might start to see if when you're doing wipe cuts, if you don't lock your focus and exposure by your body walking slow close to the camera, it really trips it out. So that we don't like that. That looks bad. I'm going to rename this one as bad exposure so I know what it is. All right. So let's see. We had Calvin sitting on the swings. That was good. And then shot.
Don't move out. Rolling. Shot 3B, take 1. Action.
Calvin walks right through at the beginning of the shot, and then I snore for a bit, and then we call cut. All right, so let's take a look how this one chops up. Let's see here. Shot 3A is right here.
And action.
I wonder what my dad's doing.
Find that perfect moment for the out, which is going to be right about there, I'm going to say. There we go. And then go to the bedroom shot, which is 3B, take 1. Oops, got to go to the front.
Rolling. Shot 3B. Action.
Find that perfect moment for the in. There we go. Let me snore for a bit. Slap those together. Here we go.
I wonder what my dad's doing.
There we go. A perfectly executed wipe cut. And I'm at home snoring away. Perfect. All right, so this is a wipe cut where we changed location as opposed to a wipe cut where we made things appear or disappear. A wipe cut where you change location, you could shoot it handheld if you really, really had to. As long as those bodies get close enough to the screen where they completely obscure the view of the camera. They got to get really, really close. It's a lot easier to do on a tripod, but if you're changing location, you definitely can do it handheld. Whip cuts, obviously, you got to do handheld. Location, though, this one must be on a tripod. So it kind of they kind of have their own kind of particular things. Now, the next two must be on a tripod. Otherwise, they will not work. And those are the pop cuts, like we saw in Scott Pilgrim, where he it was nighttime and then pop, it was morning and he wasn't in bed. And we saw it in T-shirt war. So here we go. We're exterior park day. Calvin is sad. Calvin got his water bottle too. We're going to pop cut 2. It doesn't have a new scene heading. We're just going to go right to a action where the bottle magically appears on the table and we cut to black. Now this is actually just one shot. We're not going to stop recording at all here. So it really only takes one board. So it's shot 4. And Calvin there, he is sad, a medium shot, and the water bottle appears via a pop cut. So I'm kind of telling my director, my crew, hey, this is what we need to do to make this happen. We're going to use a pop cut, which means we got to be on a tripod, which means my actor needs to freeze for a second while the grip or the director, whoever it is, adds or removes whatever it is from the scene they want to add or remove. So if we find shot 4, take 1, which I think is right here. Yep. Schwack.
This is shot 4, take 1.
So you see that we're on a tripod.
And hang on. Action.
I forgot my water bottle.
So I told him before we shot, okay, once you say that line of you forgot your water bottle, you have to freeze until I tell you to unfreeze. So he's going to freeze. I put the water bottle in the shot and then unfreeze.
My water bottle.
And he finds it.
Cut.
All right, there it is. So now if we go to Premiere and we get that shot 4, here it is.
Hang on. Action.
Set the in.
Forgot my water bottle.
There we go. I'm going to set an out right there. Then I'm going to go forward in the shot to once I put the water bottle and I tell him to resume. So I'm kind of eliminating this middle section here, set a new in and a new out and put those together. We should have.
I forgot my water bottle.
Bing!
My water bottle.
There we go. It magically appeared over his
I
shoulder.
forgot my water bottle. My water bottle.
There we go. Right? He's got a tiny, he didn't freeze super perfect, but you know, you throw a sound effect on it and you guys can probably freeze better than a 7-year-old. As long as your camera's on a tripod, most people will forgive that tiny little bit of motion.
Forgot my water bottle.
Bing!
My water bottle.
I hear myself speaking just a hair. I wonder if I cut out a couple more frames, if it'll be a little happier with us. Let's see. And again, sometimes a couple frames makes all the difference.
Bottle.
There we go. That looks a lot better.
Water bottle. My water bottle.
You hit it with a sound effect to be perfect, right? So you can make things appear or do, right? The same way we saw in whatchamacallit, in Requiem for a Dream, where the food was appearing on her mantle, right? This is probably the same technique used. They just had much steadier cameras, and it's very easy to do when there's no people in the shot. You can make things appear or disappear very, very easily. And the last type of shot that we have is the same idea, a pop cut, very similar to T-shirt war. But instead of having something appear or disappear, we're going to make things move in an unnatural way. So we're exterior at the park day. I'm going to drive around the park Mario Kart style. So it's pretty simple. I mean, you're just writing what you want to happen in your screenplay. On your storyboard, here I am. I'm going to be sitting on the ground like I'm in a go-kart, motor around the playground Mario Kart style using pop. Again, once you see pop cuts on your storyboard, that should tell everyone in the production, okay, we need to be on a tripod. Our actor needs to kind of freeze. And depending on what we're doing, it's going to look a little different. So I'll show you guys the raw footage of this.
This is shot 5, take 1.
And this one's a little bit tougher. I mean, ignore the kids over there in the corner. They're not part of it. They're just kind of playing at the park now. Here's me doing my thing. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move incrementally, bit by bit, and freeze in kind of this position like I'm driving this go-kart. and I'm just kind of move a little bit and freeze. Move a little bit and freeze. Move a little bit and freeze. And my camera's on a tripod, and I kind of do the thing. And then this is where it gets a little bit tedious, but you know, that's what editing's all about. I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna get my shot, and I'm gonna get in a rhythm here. So I freeze right there. I set my in. I'm gonna grab 1, 2, 3 frames and set an out and drag down that tiny little sliver. The smaller the sliver you grab in, 1, 2, 3 out, the smaller a sliver you, better this effect will look. In, 1, 2, 3 out. I'm just hitting my arrow key 3 times so that each little sliver is only 3 frames long. And that way it's equal. You see the little pieces that I'm stacking up down here in the corner are all of equal length. That helps it to look good as well. Instead of trying to kind of eyeball it, I'm being very precise with it. In, 1, 2, 3 out. And you can just kind of get into a nice little rhythm here. In, 1, 2, 3 out. In, 1, 2, 3 out. And unfortunately, there's really no faster way to do this. This is the best way to do it. Some people I've seen have done it by taking still photos, but then you have to actually touch the camera, and any kind of wobble of the camera will make the background move, and the effect breaks if the background moves. You have to be on a tripod. The effect only works if the background stays perfectly still. And you'll see that the effect is kind of broken because you're going to see my kids running around in the background there as I'm stacking these up. But the smaller the sliver you get and the smaller the movements you make, I've got one at school where I jump all the way down the amphitheater and I kind of hover as I go. Kind of cool. Let's see here. I think I only have a couple more. Oops, that was not good. 1, 2, 3 out. There we go. That one will be good. In, 1, 2, 3 out. In, 1, 2, 3 out. Should be done soon. In, 1, 2, 3 out. There we go. All right, let's take a look at our finished product. There I go. Right, if we throw some sound effect on that, that'd be pretty cool. As I zoom around the park. Right, you can make a whole stop motion movie like that. You see the kids kind of teleport all around the background, but everything else is pretty solid and looks pretty good. So you can make people move in unnatural ways. You can make objects move in unnatural ways. This is stop motion animation, basically. It's the way that, you know, they made Nightmare Before Christmas, or, you know, you can make your dolls move in a creepy horror movie, and, you know, you can make your objects move around the table, or whatever the case may be. You can do it in a kind of an unnatural, unnerving way, which is always cool. So let's see here. Let me pull it up on the phone, because you can do all of these things on the phone as well. And I actually edited them yesterday at the park on the phone to prove that it was doable. I just did it here in Premiere because that's where I'm most comfortable, but I will pull it up on the phone before we go and kind of show you, because really it's just about setting good ins and outs. It's not about anything any crazier than that. There we go. Phone. Come on, phone. Nope. Where are you? There it is. All right, let's rotate this bad boy clockwise. That way? Yep. There we go. Come here, come here, come here. Rush. Whoa. Like this. Show preview. Here we are. Okay. So here we are. Play. Interesting. Doesn't want to let me click play today. Maybe the new iOS update broke it. Well, we can kind of scrub through it slowly, right? He says, I want to go to the park. And I just got real specific with my in and my out so that my whip cut looks correct. There it is. And then here's Violet in her water bottle. And I just got real specific with the in and the out of my wipe. You see the water bottle appears behind her there for the wipe cut. Same thing with the location wipe cut. Just get real specific with your in and your out. Just be very, very, it really helped me to zoom like all the way in. So I was looking at like one frame at a time, and I could really kind of get just the exact frame I wanted. So I had to zoom really, really, really tight to help me get it just right. And then here's Calvin. Oh, that's right. So the pop cut was a little bit trickier. So let me show you how to do the pop cut on the phone, because it's a new technique. So I'm going to add the shot of Calvin in his water bottle, because when you add it, it is the entire shot, and you can see me come in and place the water bottle. So let's see here. Of course, it's not going to play action right about there, and he's sad. So that's going to be my in point. I'm going to drag that like that. Now, what you're going to do is once your character freezes, you're going to hit the little scissors button down here in the bottom row to cut the clip. And that way you can then get rid of the portion of me putting the water bottle in, and that way it will magically appear. Bink, bink, right? So you can use the scissors to kind of cut the footage, and that way you can get rid of a hunk in the middle. Normally, we're only kind of allowed to just kind of adjust the end and the beginning points, but by using the scissors, you can cut out a chunk in the middle. And it was a bear to do this one on the phone, let me tell you, but I got it done. I zoomed in real tight, and I would go over and I'd cut my scissors, and then I'd find the next shot or find, forward to the next point and cut with my scissors. And then I deleted the big hunks and I kept the small hunks. And I got my shot there as well. Don't know why it doesn't want to play. That makes me sad. I wonder if I do let's try the old hard quit. See what happens here. Maybe it'll be a little happier with us. There's should title the footage as well. Show preview, play,
Action.
Oh, there we go. The old hard quit always works like a charm. I put a sound effect on this one too.
I forgot.
Car sound effect.
I forgot my water.
I would like to add a ding, right? Bing, right there.
My water bottle.
There we go. So all the effects work on the phone as well. Like I said, it just helps really to zoom in really tight when you're doing the pop cuts. And then you're going to use the scissors tool to kind of clip out the hunk of the middle where you're adding or removing whatever the piece is that you're going to add or remove in that shot. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of upload all of these materials, my storyboard, my screenplay, and probably my my finished movie. I'll export it and upload that as well to a page for you guys to look at, or I'll upload them to Teams. And basically, you guys are going to recreate all 5 of those shots. A whip cut where you go to a new location. You're going to do a wipe cut where you add or remove something from the scene. You're going to do a wipe cut where you change location. You're going to do a pop cut where you add or remove something from the scene. And you're going to do a pop cut where something moves in an unnatural way. And then at the end, when you're done, basically you're going to give me 3 pieces of work. You're going to give me pictures of your storyboards, you're going to give me your completed screenplay, and you're going to give me the exported final movie. And that'll probably be due next Monday. That'll be our Monday work. So we'll work on it in class together to answer questions and help people out. Like I said, I'll give you all the materials you need. And that way, because like if we were in class, this is what we would do: is you guys would screenplay it and storyboard it, and you would print those out and show them to me. And then when I look at them and say, yeah, this looks good, I would give you a camera and you would go shoot them. Obviously, we're in a little bit different situation, so you're just going to give me all 3 pieces: the screenplay, the storyboard, and the exported movie. At the end, for me to kind of look at and make sure that everything looks good. And we're going to work on it together in class on Thursday, and that way, you know, I can help you guys out with any problems you might be having, because I know this is a lot to take in, but I wanna get all these things. I want to get us going on making things. All right. Um, let's see here in Teams. I have an exit ticket for y'all, and I'll put it in the chat as well. But you should be able to go here to Flipgrid exit tickets, and you can record a response. Which special cut is the coolest? Which special cut you think is best and why? So it could be the whip cut, the wipe cut, the pop cut. You know, and there's two different kinds of pop cuts, two different kinds of wipe cuts. So you can, you know, respond any way you want for our exit ticket today. And I am going to make the assignment, but and you can start working on the screenplay and storyboards if you want, and that way you can shoot in class on Thursday, or you can wait to work on the screenplay and storyboard in class with me on Thursday and then shoot it and edit it over the weekend. It's kind of up to you. Like I said, it's going to take me a minute to get all the materials uploaded and like make a place for them to all live. But I should have that done shortly. So I will be working on that. You guys, I'm going to come here and turn this on and do that and do this. And then I'm going to put the link for the exit ticket, share this, excuse me. And I can stop recording this show now.